Have you ever looked in the mirror or glanced at a neighbor or friend your age and wondered why are some people at 80 still walking briskly, smiling brightly, and doing everything with so much energy? While I feel like I'm slowing down, forgetting things and losing my flexibility, the truth is, age doesn't always mean decline. There are people who not only live long, they live well, they live fully, and it almost seems like they're aging in reverse. This video is for you if you're 80 or nearing that age, and you can still do a few things that most people your age may have already given up. Because if you're still able to do these things, even just a few, you're not only living longer, you're beating time itself. Join me on this journey. We'll explore 8 signs, not miracles, but real, tangible abilities that show your body and mind are still sharp, still vibrant. And if you can still do them, be proud, because it's living proof that you're aging in reverse, aging differently. You can still stand up from a chair without using your hands. 3 minutes. There's something that seems simple and often goes unnoticed, the way you stand up from a chair. But did you know that this one small movement can reveal so much about your strength, your independence, and even your longevity? Let me tell you the story of Eleanor. She's 82 and lives in Kansas. She used to be a primary school teacher, lively, cheerful, and always independent. But one morning, as she was about to get up from her armchair to make tea, she suddenly realized she was pressing her hands hard against the table to push herself up. It was the first time she felt her legs, no longer as steady as before. At first, she brushed it off, but just a week later, she tripped as she stepped out of bed. No one was around. The fall wasn't serious, but it jolted her out of her complacency. And from that moment, she decided to regain control over her legs. Eleanor started small. Every morning, she spent 10 minutes doing leg lifts, slow squats beside the chair, and practicing standing up without using her hands. After just 3 weeks, she could stand up smoothly, without pushing off, without feeling off balance, and without fear. You see, being able to stand up from a chair without using your hands is one of the simplest yet most crucial indicators. It reflects not only the strength in your lower body, but also the coordination between your muscles, nervous system, and balance. Try checking yourself today. Next time you get up, notice who's doing the lifting, your hands or your legs. If you can still stand up without using your hands, be proud, because you're holding on to one of the most important abilities for living independently and healthily beyond 80. And if you're working toward that goal, don't give up. Strength can come back little by little if you give your body the chance. You still have control over your legs, and that's the first step toward aging in reverse. Aging in a way not everyone gets to experience. If the previous part was a test of your legs and basic strength, then walking fast is a full-body assessment, from your heart, lungs, muscles, to your willpower. Let's continue with the story of a man named Leonard, 79 years old, living in Oregon. Leonard used to be a postal worker, so walking every day was second nature to him. But in recent years, he began to slow down. His steps got shorter, and he often had to stop halfway to catch his breath. At first he thought, I guess this is just aging. But then one morning, while walking to the bus stop just 100 meters from his house, he had to stop 3 times because he felt breathless. That moment made Leonard take a step back. It wasn't the distance that challenged him. It was his body sounding an alarm. And he did something that not many people dare to do. He started again, step by step. Leonard set a goal to go a little farther each day, from the mailbox in front of his house, then to the corner, and eventually around the small park nearby. 1 month later, he could briskly walk a full mile without needing to stop for breath. His spirits lifted, along with his stamina. Dear friend, your walking speed after age 70 is not just a measure of fitness, it's a survival indicator. Studies have shown that older adults who maintain a brisk and steady walking pace are more likely to live longer, stay healthier, and retain sharper mental clarity. Because walking fast requires perfect coordination between your cardiovascular system, respiratory system, nervous system, and yes, your willpower. It's a sign that your whole body is still working in sync. So, I have a small suggestion. Try walking as if you're late to meet someone you love for 20-30 meters. Do you feel breathless, dizzy, or have to stop halfway? If not, you are beating time. If you can still walk briskly without fatigue, type the number 2 in the comments section below. And if you feel like you've slowed down, don't worry, the wonderful news is speed can be retrained. Tuners of shoulder pressure to help you out. There's a cliche about strength being stronger than wicked. When you are trying to do something unbelievable, sometimes obstacles occur. When you are trying to do something that would, after testing strength and speed, now it's time to dive into balance, one of the most important signs that you're still in control of your body. Imagine you're standing in the bathroom, brushing your teeth like usual. You try lifting one foot just a few inches off the ground, but within 3 seconds, you're forced to set it down because you lose your balance. That was the exact moment when Judith, 81, living in Colorado, realized she had lost something very important, something she'd never even thought about before. She shared, "I used to dance, I used to play croquet, but now just standing on one foot makes me wobble. It scared me, not because of the fall itself, but because I suddenly knew that my nervous system had weakened without me even noticing." And the wonderful thing is, Judith didn't give up. Every morning, while brushing her teeth, she stood near the sink and tried to balance on one foot, lightly touching the wall. At first, she could only do 3 seconds, then 5, then 10. After a few weeks, she was able to hold her balance for 15 seconds on each foot without needing to hold on at all. Did you know? Balance is a delicate coordination between your central nervous system, muscles, vision, and inner ear. When you can still stand on one leg without swaying, it means more than just lower fall risk. It's also a sign that your brain, nerves, and entire body are staying sharp and responsive. Studies have shown older adults who can balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds have up to 84% lower risk of death compared to those who cannot. You can try it right now. Stand near a wall or chair, lift one foot off the ground, and count. How long can you hold it? If you can do more than 10 seconds, type the number 3 in the comments section to celebrate this small but deeply meaningful victory. And if you can't do it, don't be discouraged. Practice just a few times a day, and in 1 week you'll notice a difference. Balance is a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. When was the last time you tested your balance? Share your experience in the comments below, not just to remind yourself you're not alone, but to show others that it's never too late to begin again, one steady step at a time. There's something that may seem simple, yet it becomes a quiet fear for many after age 80. Can you still sit down on the floor and get back up again without help? That very question once caught Frank, 83, from Texas, completely off guard during what seemed like an ordinary moment. One afternoon, his great-granddaughter wanted to play with puzzle pieces on the living room rug. Frank wanted to join her, but he just stood still. Not because he didn't want to, but because he wasn't sure if he'd be able to stand back up once he sat down on the floor. That moment shook him. No one said a word, but he felt it. A small piece of his freedom had slipped away, and Frank didn't want to live like that. So he started practicing. Every day, he worked on sitting down by the edge of the bed and standing back up, doing gentle knee bends and using his hands to push himself up from the floor. After a few weeks, he could sit on the rug and rise again. No assistance needed, just sheer determination. The ability to sit and rise from the floor is a reflection of your muscle strength, flexibility, balance, and full body coordination. It not only helps you remain independent, but it also significantly reduces your risk of falling and, more importantly, it allows you to keep sharing those close, simple moments with loved ones. If you've never tried, try it now. Sit on the floor and then get back up. If you can do it, type the number 4 in the comments. Because after 80, this is no small feat. It's a symbol of strength, self-reliance, and a body that's still full of life. And if you can't do it just yet, remember, Frank couldn't either at first. You're not alone, and it's never too late to begin working toward it again. Once you've regained control of movement from the ground, There's another ability that's just as essential to your quality of life: the strength to carry, grip, and lift everyday things. That's what we'll explore next in part 5. Have you ever found it hard to carry grocery bags lately? If so, stay with us. This next part is for you. Carrying a heavy bag of groceries home might sound like a small thing, but after age 80, it's more than just a matter of muscle. It's a powerful measure of your overall health. Let me introduce you to Walter, 80, from Ohio. Back in the day, he took pride in grabbing every grocery bag in one go. One trip, that's it, he'd chuckle. But little by little, he started noticing something had changed. He had to pause halfway up the stairs. His shoulders ached, his back hunched forward, and that once light bag suddenly felt unusually heavy. That's when he stopped brushing it off. Walter began rebuilding his upper body strength. He used tennis balls to squeeze and strengthen his hands, did light weight training for his shoulders and wrists, and made sure to keep his back straight and his steps steady whenever he carried anything. Just a few weeks later, something remarkable happened. He could once again carry the bags in one trip, wearing the same proud smile he had in his younger days. To him, this wasn't just a grocery run. It was proof that he still had control over his life. The strength to carry is not just about strong arms. It's a combination of your back, shoulders, legs, core, heart, and lungs. It tells the world and yourself that you're still independent, still capable, still steady in your everyday life. If you can still carry a full bag of groceries from the store to your home without having to stop and rest, type the number 5 in the comments. That simple act means you're holding on to something precious: resilience, autonomy, and a quiet pride that speaks louder than words. And if you can't do it just yet, start with smaller bags. Practice gently each day, because as Walter proved, if you don't give up, your body may surprise you with its strength and recovery. Next up is sign 6, a familiar but very real challenge. Can you climb a flight of stairs without needing to stop and catch your breath? If that question sparks your curiosity, stay with us, because it's one of the most telling tests of your heart and lungs at this stage of life. There's nothing more honest than a staircase. It doesn't sugarcoat, it doesn't show mercy, it's just you. And the steps rising one after another. And if, after the age of 80, you can still climb an entire flight of stairs without having to stop, gasp for air, or grip the handrail tightly, then congratulations. Your heart and lungs are working remarkably well. Let me tell you about Irene, 82, from Colorado. After a minor fall on the stairs, she avoided them completely for nearly 2 years. The elevator became her only choice. But one day, while visiting her daughter's home, she discovered the only bathroom was upstairs. Climbing that staircase, each step felt like a struggle. Irene wasn't herself anymore. That moment became a turning point. She started with just 3 steps a day, then 5, then the whole flight. She combined her efforts with deep breathing exercises and gentle walks outside. 1 month later, not only could she climb the stairs again, she smiled as she did it. Stair climbing demands strong legs, a steady heart rate, synchronized breathing, and muscular coordination. It's a full-body test. If you can still climb 10-12 steps continuously without stopping, dizziness, or shortness of breath, you're carrying within you a resilient heart and a powerful respiratory system. If you're still able to do this, comment with the number 6 below and inspire others who are walking their own uphill journey. And if stairs have become a challenge, remember, every summit begins with just 1 step. Now let's talk about something that may seem small, but says so much about your brain's vitality. Have you ever finished a meal and then puzzled, wait, what did I eat again? Or had someone mention yesterday's conversation and you couldn't recall it at all? Don't panic. But if you can remember what you had for dinner last night, a call from earlier this week, or something a new friend told you recently, your brain is still shining bright. That's exactly the case for Howard Eisen, 84, from Oregon. He still remembers the name of his 2nd grade teacher, his best friend's wedding date, and even the landline number he had back in the 1960s. When people ask his secret, he just smiles and says, I read the paper every morning, play Sudoku, tell stories to my grandkids, and I never stop being curious. Memory isn't just about names and numbers. It's the beautiful web of blood vessels, neurons, and attention that connect us to the world. People who retain strong memory after 80 are often those who keep their minds actively engaged with positivity. If you can still recall details from a conversation or clearly remember what you said yesterday, type 7 below. That's undeniable proof that your mind is present, sharp, and deeply aware. And finally, let's talk about sleep. After age 80, many people lose the ability to sleep deeply. They wake up in the night, toss and turn, and start their day already drained. But if you can still sleep soundly through the night and wake up refreshed, your body is performing a nightly miracle, repairing cells, cleansing the brain, balancing hormones, and restoring your immune system. Ruth, 86, struggled with insomnia for months. Until her doctor suggested a change in lighting, she began turning off the TV after dinner, opening the blinds for early sunlight, and using a soft night lamp. Just 2 weeks later, she was waking up with a gentle smile, no longer needing coffee just to function. If you get 6-8 hours of sleep a night without frequent waking, and rise with energy. Comment 8. Because good sleep isn't just a gift. It's one of the most powerful signs that your body is still healing, still rejuvenating from the inside out. Dear friend, if you've listened all the way to the end, I believe there's still so much strength and beauty inside you, not just in what you can still do, but in the spirit you still hold. Take a moment to reflect. Out of the 8 signs, how many are you still able to do? 1, 3, all 8? No matter the number, each one is living proof that you haven't given up, that you are still living with intention, with dignity, and with quiet power. If this video touched you, share in the comments something you're proud of about your body or your mind. Or simply write, "I'm still strong," because that one message might be the encouragement someone else out there truly needs. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Senior Life 365, because every week we bring stories and insights to help you live longer, live better, and live joyfully in your golden years. Age is just a number, but spirit, that's a choice. And you, my friend, are choosing to live fully. We are honored to walk this journey with you.